Marcus Chen had spent 7 years as head librarian of the Roosevelt Memorial Library, a position that required more than just organizing books. Built as a tribute to fallen educators who died in the line of duty, the library's Memorial Hall contained sacred artifacts, original lesson plans from teachers killed in school tragedies, personal effects donated by grieving families, and an eternal flame that burned in remembrance. Every evening after closing, Marcus performed his ritual walk through the memorial section. His footsteps echoed softly on the polished marble as he checked each display case, ensuring everything remained pristine and respectful. As one of the few Asian American head librarians in the district's history, Marcus felt the weight of representation alongside his duty to honor the fallen educators. The autumn rain tapped gently against the tall windows as Marcus made his rounds. The Memorial Hall was designed like a quiet sanctuary, with soft lighting illuminating photographs of teachers who had given their lives protecting students. Sometimes, in the deepest silence of night, Marcus imagined their presence watching over the sacred space they had created through their sacrifice. A harsh sound shattered the tranquility. Laughter. Breaking glass. The noise came from the main entrance, which should have been locked hours ago. Marcus moved carefully toward the sound, his trained ear detecting multiple voices and the unmistakable crash of overturning furniture. 3 figures moved through the main reading room like a destructive storm. Rich college students by their designer clothes and entitled attitudes, they knocked books from shelves while filming each other on expensive phones. Empty liquor bottles littered the floor behind them, evidence of their breaking and entering celebration. "This place is so dead," sneered Blake Morrison, son of the city's most powerful real estate developer. He wore a varsity jacket from the private university where his father had donated a new wing. "Let's make it more interesting." His companions, Trevor and Josh, laughed as they continued their rampage. Trevor kicked over a reading chair while Josh started ripping pages from rare books, tossing them into the air like confetti. Marcus emerged from the shadows, his voice calm but firm. "The library is closed. You need to leave immediately." Blake spun around, his eyes glassy from alcohol. "Oh look, it's the bookkeeper. What are you gonna do, give us a library card? This is private property after hours. I'm asking you to leave peacefully before I call security." "Security?" Josh laughed, pulling out his phone to record. "This nobody thinks he's a cop or something." The 3 moved deeper into the building, heading directly toward the Memorial Hall. Marcus followed, his pulse quickening as he realized their destination. When they reached the sacred space, Blake whistled mockingly. "What's all this dead teacher stuff? Looks depressing." Trevor picked up a framed photograph of Maria Santos, a kindergarten teacher who had died shielding her students from a gunman. "These people are famous for getting shot? That's pathetic." Marcus stepped forward, his composure cracking. "Put that down. This is a memorial to educators who died protecting children." "Protecting children," Blake mimicked in a high voice. "What heroes?" He spit directly onto the memorial flame's base, the saliva hissing against the warm metal. "That's enough," Marcus said, moving between the students and the displays. "Leave now or I'm calling the police." Josh pulled out a black marker, uncapping it with a pop. "Let's give these losers some modern art." He began scrawling profanity across the memorial plaque, the permanent ink defacing the bronze surface that listed the names of the fallen. "Look at me, I died for kids," Trevor mocked, posing dramatically in front of a display case. "So brave, so noble." He made exaggerated crying faces while Blake filmed, all of them laughing at their cruel performance. The racial slur that followed hit Marcus like a physical blow. Blake said it casually, as if commenting on the weather, his privileged smirk never wavering. "What are you gonna do about it, library boy?" Something inside Marcus snapped. 7 years of dedication, of honoring those who gave everything for education, of maintaining this sacred trust. He couldn't stand by and watch them desecrate the memory of heroes who had died protecting the innocent. Marcus grabbed Josh's wrist, forcing him away from the memorial. "Stop. Now." Help! He's attacking me! Josh immediately cried out, dropping to the floor dramatically. I think he broke my arm. Blake's camera captured everything, but from an angle that made Marcus appear aggressive and unprovoked. The framing cut out Josh's vandalism and Blake's spitting, showing only Marcus grabbing a seemingly innocent student. Did you get that? Blake whispered urgently to Trevor. Perfect. Post it everywhere. The three students scattered toward the exit, Josh's mysterious injury disappearing as he sprinted alongside his friends. Their laughter echoed through the violated memorial hall as Marcus stood alone among the damaged displays, knowing his career had just ended. Within hours, the edited video exploded across social media. #LibrarianAttackStudents trended nationally, showing what appeared to be an unprovoked assault by an angry librarian on innocent college visitors. The comments section filled with outrage, calling for Marcus's immediate termination and criminal prosecution. Marcus arrived home to find his elderly mother, Linda Chen, waiting with coffee and concern. She had raised him alone after his father's death, working 2 jobs to put him through library school. I saw the news, she said quietly, studying his face. Tell me what really happened. Marcus explained everything: the break-in, the vandalism, the deliberate provocation. Linda listened without judgment, her hand resting supportively on his shoulder. You stood up for what was right, she said finally. Whatever comes next, I'm proud of you. The phone rang. His supervisor's voice crackled with barely controlled fury. Chen, what the hell happened? I've got 3 sets of wealthy parents threatening lawsuits, reporters calling for statements, and a viral video of you assaulting students. Sir, they were vandalizing the memorial. I can explain. Save it for internal affairs. You're suspended pending investigation. By morning, Marcus was formally arrested. The charges were serious assault, abuse of authority, violation of civil rights. The Morrison family had hired the city's most expensive legal team, while Marcus qualified only for an overworked public defender. Standing in orange jail scrubs, Marcus felt the weight of injustice crushing down. Through the cell window, he could see protesters outside demanding his prosecution. None of them knew about the vandalism, the racial slurs, or the deliberate destruction of sacred memorial items. His first visitor was unexpected: Sarah Williams, an investigative reporter for the local paper. She was young, ambitious, and something in her eyes suggested she sensed more to the story. Mr. Chen, the official narrative seems very clean, she said, studying him carefully. 3 innocent students visit a library, get attacked by an unstable employee. But something feels off about the whole thing. What do you mean? Blake Morrison has been in trouble before. Sealed juvenile records, but I have sources. And that video, it's been edited. I can tell from the timestamp gaps. Sarah left her card with a promise to dig deeper. That night, Marcus's mother visited, bringing news that lifted his spirits slightly. The teachers' union is asking questions, Linda reported. And some of your library patrons are starting an online petition. They know who you really are. Meanwhile, Sarah's investigation was uncovering disturbing patterns. Blake Morrison, Trevor Hayes, and Josh Patterson had a history of destructive behavior that money and influence had repeatedly covered up. Vandalism at their prep school, harassment of scholarship students, even a previous incident at a veterans memorial that had mysteriously disappeared from public records. The break came when Sarah discovered that the Roosevelt Library had security cameras in areas the students hadn't known about. The complete footage showed everything: the breaking and entering, the deliberate vandalism, the racist taunts, and Marcus's restrained response to protect the memorial. But accessing the footage required court orders that the Morrison family was fighting with armies of lawyers. They had also hired a crisis management firm specializing in burying inconvenient stories on social media platforms. Sarah published her preliminary findings, but they barely registered against the viral video's impact. Marcus remained in jail while his supporters faced their own retaliation. Library board members who defended him found themselves under audit. Teachers who spoke out faced administrative reviews of their certifications. The tide turned when retired Marine Colonel James Porter saw the story. As a veteran educator himself, he understood the sacred nature of the memorial and organized fellow military teachers to stand outside the library in silent protest. Their disciplined demonstration attracted national attention, especially when Porter spoke to cameras about the memorial's true significance. "Those displays honor teachers who died protecting children," he said. "Anyone who defaces that sacred trust deserves justice, not protection." Social media algorithms began promoting counter-narratives as the complete story emerged. #Justice for Marcus started trending alongside testimonials from library patrons who knew his character and dedication. The breakthrough came when a maintenance worker came forward with cell phone footage he'd taken while doing late-night repairs. His video showed the students' arrival, their break-in, and the beginning of their vandalism spree, all time-stamped before Marcus ever appeared. Combined with Sarah's investigative reporting and the growing public support, prosecutors finally obtained the complete security footage. The unedited video revealed everything: Blake spitting on the memorial flame, Josh defacing the bronze plaque with permanent marker, Trevor mocking photographs of dead teachers, and the racist taunts that preceded Marcus's measured response. When the complete footage aired on national television, public opinion shifted dramatically. The students who had appeared as innocent victims were exposed as privileged vandals who had desecrated a memorial to fallen heroes. Within 24 hours, federal charges were filed against all 3 students. Vandalizing a public memorial was a felony, and the hate crime enhancements made their situation severe. Blake Morrison was arrested at his family's country club, handcuffed in front of the cameras that had once protected him. Marcus was released to cheering crowds and formal apologies from city officials. The district attorney held a press conference acknowledging the prosecution's mistakes and promising a thorough review of how the case had been initially handled. At the state education department, Marcus sat across from officials who had summoned him for a formal hearing. The room was packed with supporters: Colonel Porter, Sarah Williams, his mother Linda, and dozens of teachers and librarians who had rallied to his cause. "Mr. Chen," the superintendent began, after reviewing all evidence, "we owe you a profound apology. Your actions protected a sacred memorial while showing remarkable restraint under extreme provocation." They presented him with the state's highest civilian honor for educational service, recognition of his dedication to preserving the memory of fallen teachers. More importantly, they offered him a promotion to head the new statewide memorial education program. "Sir," Marcus replied, his voice steady, "I only did what any educator should do: protect the memory of those who gave everything for our students." The following Monday, Marcus returned to the Roosevelt Memorial Library. The damaged displays had been restored, and new security measures ensured future protection. As he walked through the memorial hall, he noticed fresh flowers placed by visitors who now understood the space's true significance. Local news cameras recorded his first day back, but respectfully maintained distance as he performed his evening rounds. The memorial flame burned bright, the photographs of fallen teachers watched over their sanctuary, and Marcus resumed his quiet vigil with renewed purpose. In the courtroom where Blake Morrison, Trevor Hayes, and Josh Patterson received their sentences, the judge ordered them to perform community service at educational memorials, learning firsthand about the sacrifices they had mocked. Their once powerful families sat in the back, their influence finally meeting something it couldn't buy or manipulate: undeniable truth. Marcus continued his work, each step through the memorial hall a testament to the power of standing up for what's right, even when the whole world seems against you. In his quiet dedication lay a strength that no amount of wealth or privilege could overcome: the strength of one person protecting something sacred.